this lesson, I want to talk to you about another idea that's kind of coming from the inspiration of Elvin Jones and trying to do things that blend triplets with diddles in the middle that can be played in both a jazz or a funk context. This idea is similar to the whatchamacallit, but it's a little simpler, and there's a clean left-hand shot that is good for launching you around the drums and getting some different voices and different things and ideas and variations around the drums, starting with that left shot. I'm trying to phrase them in a way that makes them a little slicker, a little more musical, and I'm not trying to play them in such a rudimental way, but I'm trying to put a little bit of a twist on them to make them a little bit more musical. Note that if we played this just straightforward, it would be pretty bland and not too exciting. But I'll try closing up the diddles a little bit to make it just a little bit more slick. And this comes from listening to Philly Joe and Elvin and listening to their approach to phrasing and trying to reference that a little bit when doing ideas like this. So now let's take a look at why I call this the Thing-A-Ma-Jig. To me, the phrasing just reminds me of those words. That phrase seems to go with this phrasing. Just like with the whatchamacallit, that seemed to apply to the notes that were being played there. So with this, again, just trying to come up with a kind of fun, whimsical name that we can reference these things, and we know exactly what we're talking about when I say, hey, play me a whatchamacallit or a Thing-A-Ma-Jig. Thing-A-Ma-Jig, 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 Thing-A-Ma-Jig. Now I'll play it at a slightly quicker tempo in a funk context, and I'll play 2 bars of funk and then 2 bars of this idea. With this idea, we can start to have a little fun with the beginning of the idea too, and start adding some things to what is our single shot in the left hand. We can start embellishing upon that. So right now, I'm just going to embellish upon it by adding a flam to that single shot in the left hand. So now we can start to put that around the drums. I'm going to play an open flam starting on this floor tom and just kind of start to have some fun with this idea. So now I'll play 4 bars of jazz, and then 4 bars of this idea, and then 4 bars of funk, and 4 bars of this idea, just to show you that any of the voicings or phrasings or variations that you want to do with this will work in a jazz or funk context. Now I'm just going to play around and experiment with some different variations of this thing that I like to call the Thing-A-Ma-Jig. If you dug this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm putting up new lessons. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me down here below in the comment section. And thanks, and I'll see you guys around.